Hello everyone, my name is Jennifer Stay and welcome to our weekly live event. Today we are here to answer the question, should you invest in the new set of Ohuhu alcohol brush tip markers? This set has 72 colors. The previous set had only 48 and this one right here that I have is 72. So we're going to talk about whether I think you should purchase the 72 set. We're going to compare the colors, talk a little bit about the body style of this marker, and most importantly, we're going to spend the bulk of our hour here with you doing coloring on a free coloring page that is available to all of you free for a limited time to celebrate Halloween. So make sure you check out the links in the video description and come and get that free download. And I also have links to these markers. I have links to another video all about 5 quick tips to help you get more out of your Ohuhu markers. Lots of stuff going on in the links, so check those out. And if you're watching this and it's not Halloween anymore, excuse me, that's okay because I always have free coloring pages available, so you didn't miss out. There's just other coloring pages there. And if you always want access to all of our coloring pages, please consider signing up as a Bliss colorist. For just $5, you get access to the entire premium library, and the coloring pages that you love will always be there, and you can download them and print them anytime you want. So that is an amazing deal. There's like almost 500 coloring pages in the premium library, so totally worth the $5. And I'm always drawing new ones, especially around the holidays. And I have a brand new, well, I'm not going to tell you about it, but there's a new exciting coloring page idea that's coming for Thanksgiving. So make sure you come next week to our weekly live event where we'll be talking about that. And I'll give you more ideas about what's coming for Thanksgiving. Should be lots of fun. But we're here today to talk about the Ohuhu markers and to show you my brand new Halloween art. So let's do that. Let's start with showing you the new Halloween art. Let me grab it. It's right here. The first piece of art I want to show you is the free one that we have available for a limited time. And that is this one right here. It's been around for a while. I drew it back in 2015, and it is one of the most popular, most downloaded coloring pages I've ever drawn. I think it's really fun. And what I did is I went in and I digitally remastered it this year. I crisped it all up. When I originally drew it back in 2015, I drew it on paper with pencil and ink, and this time I've drawn it digitally so the lines are crisp and beautiful. So if you downloaded it before, come and download it again because it's beautiful and fresh and new, ready for you. So this year, where previously it's only been available to my premium members, this year it's available to everyone for a limited time. So follow the link, come and download it, and celebrate Easter with this free coloring page. This is the one I'm going to be coloring tonight with the new Ohuhu markers. I also have another free one to help you all celebrate Halloween, and that's this one right here. This one says October 31 and has some fun Halloween art on it as well. So come and get these 2 free ones. And then I think there's over 25 different Halloween coloring pages there for those of you who have access to the premium library. So let me show you the other new art. Let me get this out of the way. Let's see. Let me show you this one right here. So I really love these witch boots. I think they are so much fun. Kind of obsessed by them. And let me get this camera to do what I want it to do here. That was not what I wanted it to do. Steve, will you get it to do what... I was trying to get my picture to be the picture-in-picture, and I got the boot to be the picture-in-picture. So like I showed you this one already, this one was from 2015, and I decided this year I wanted to draw a new boot. So this is the high magical fashion for 2019. She's a fresh, brand new boot for 2019 for all of you Halloween witches. And I think it's just really charming. She's got a cute little bat on her leg up here to clasp her boot shut. And what I was picturing, and you guys can color it any way you want, but what I was picturing was this could be colored up like a stone or a gem, the little belly of the bat. I think it would be adorable like that, but you get to color any way you want because it's your coloring page. So she's got buttons up the boot and a cute little cobweb on her heel. I'm really excited about coloring this boot right here. Okay, then we've got this one here. It says Happy Halloween with a fun pumpkin and a cute little crow up on the top of the page and a fun hat. I'm excited about this one. And then we've got a fun new mandala. I love drawing mandalas, and I discovered that we don't have a Halloween mandala. So I had to draw one for all of you. It says Happy Haunting on it. And it kind of turned, it started out as a circle, as you can see, but then I added these cobwebs and it turned into a square mandala. And I really love this mandala. It's got charming little bats. It's got little spiders, cute little ghosts, and little pumpkins. And I mean, it's just kind of every little thing you can think of Halloween is in this mandala. So I'm really excited to see how you guys color this mandala and all the different things you do with all the fun little Halloween motifs that are inside this coloring page. So that's the new Halloween art. 3 brand new pages plus 1 digitally remastered witch boot. So I'm really excited for you guys to come and get it. Make sure you come and get the free one. Like I said, this one is free for a limited time, so come and download it and enjoy it. And like I said, if you want access to all of it, it's just $5 to become a premium member, which we now call a colorist, and you get access to the premium library. So come and get them and start celebrating Halloween. Okay, so I'm going to move these to the side, and we can now talk about the Ohuhu markers. So Steve, tell them how we ended up getting this set of Ohuhu markers.
Jennifer twisted my arm
No,
and made
liar.
me buy them for her.
Liar. No, tell them the truth. Tell the truth.
All right, I will. Yes, my full set syndrome kicked in, and I made Jennifer buy them.
Yep. He came all the way downstairs. He was up here in the studio working, and he comes downstairs and he says, the 72 set of Ohuhu alcohol brush tip markers are out. So he was the one that discovered that they were available, and he says that I needed to get them for the channel, for,
Yes.
you know, but it was totally, he wanted us to have them. So I thought that was very cute. You're cute. But he was right. I mean, it's our job to review these things, right. So we needed them.
We needed them.
We needed them.
Oh, thank you, Catherine. She just donated. Says, thanks for everything you guys do.
Oh, thank you, Catherine. I sure appreciate it. Especially after buying these big set of markers. So the question we're going to answer today is whether they should invest in this set of 72.
We've had a couple people say that they have them in their Amazon cart. So I said, this is a good one to watch because you may not want to buy them.
No. So I'm going to go ahead and do the spoiler. I don't like it when YouTubers or reviewers make you wait till the very end of the video to tell you their final feeling on the product they're reviewing. So I'm just going to tell you right away my final feeling on these markers right here, whether you should buy them or not, and then you'll know, and then you can stick around because I know you love me and you want to stick around for the whole video, because we'll talk about their performance and everything. First off, I want you to know that I think these are really great markers. I'm really glad that I have them. So if you've purchased them, don't feel bad about your purchase. These are a good marker, a good budget-friendly brush tip alcohol marker. That's what these are. Should you buy the 72 set? The answer is no, you shouldn't buy them. Why? I have 4 reasons. I'm trying to remember what the 4 are, but the main reason is I found out that in November they're coming out with even bigger sets than this. So no, you shouldn't buy the 72 set. If your whole purpose is to get more colors, then wait. Because they're coming out with a 96 and a 120 set. 120 sets, that's 50 more, almost 50 more than what I have right here. That's amazing. Think how big the bag is going to be. I don't know if I'll be able to heft 122 in one hand. 120. So the answer is no, don't buy these markers. Another problem that I'm seeing is that these markers are right now on Amazon, and that changes. You guys know that Amazon prices fluctuate, right? Sometimes they have sales. Sometimes they drop the price by just like $1 or $2 just to get your attention, so you'll hit that buy it now button. Right now, the price for these is $55.99, so that's $56. And the 48 set, which I've already purchased, is only $31.49. That means that this set per marker cost is higher than the smaller set. So something weird is happening with the prices. I'm wondering if they're holding out and waiting to do a big sale for Black Friday, for Christmas. I don't know. For when the big 120 comes out, are they going to have a big 20% off coupon? Because typically markers of this caliber are around 60 to 50 cents per marker. With the brush tip, they can be a little bit higher. So I'm guessing they're going to be on sale. So hang in there. Wait just a little bit longer. There's another reason. And that has to do with the color selection. So let's talk colors. Let's talk about what's in this set. Okay, there's goods and there's bads about what's in this set. It's really not bad, but it's, you know, there's nothing really bad about these markers. Again, what we're talking about here is a budget-friendly set of markers. If we're going to compare them to Copic is a high-end artist grade marker that costs, you know, $5 to $6 per marker, where these Ohuhu markers are only 76 cents per marker. So if you're going to compare markers to markers, this is a budget-friendly, great marker. You can't refill these. You can't buy them open stock. That means one at a time. And as far as I know, they don't have replacement nibs. Now, will that change in the future? Maybe. I don't know. But as far as I know, right now, that's where we stand with Ohuhu brush tip alcohol markers. Another little warning, when you're searching and shopping for these on Amazon, it gets really confusing because Ohuhu also sells a water-based brush tip marker. So be really careful, read those descriptions, make sure that you have in your cart the alcohol-based brush tip markers if that's what you're shopping for. Okay, it gets really confusing. Okay, so this is the 72 swatched out, the first page and the second page, and this looks all great, but it was hard for me to really wrap my head around what colors were actually included. So I swatched them again. This is all 72 on one page. And then I was like, I still don't quite understand. So what I did was they came with these cute little cards. Where's my other card? Right here. This was the 48 colors here, and this is the 72. So the 48 set and the 72 set. And then I marked all the ones that came in the 48 set. So if you already own the 48 and you decide to buy the 72, you get all the colors that were in the 48 set are in the 72. That was one of my first questions, so I confirmed that. In the 72 set, you're actually getting 73 markers, 72 plus one colorless blender. So you're actually getting 25 new markers on top of the 48. 24 new colors plus one colorless blender, because we didn't get a colorless blender in the first set. So then what I did was I made a chart featuring just our new colors. So here's our 24 new colors and the one colorless blender. So this is what you get if you decide to upgrade or buy, like I did, the 72. So the problem I had with the 48 was that there were too many greens and not enough light colors. When you're coloring with alcohol markers, you need a really good spectrum of light, medium, and darks, not all just darks and mediums. If you don't have enough lights, you can't get the blends that you need. You can't do really light skin tones. You can't tone colors down. You really need light colors. So I was hoping that the 72 would give us a more balanced spectrum of colors and some lighter tones to help get those blends. That was my dream for the 72. And what did we get? We got way more greens. Look at all these greens. These are, in my opinion, all these are greens. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then these grays down here are tinted with green. 11, 12, 13 out of the 24 new colors, more than half, are all tinted green. So even more greens, and some of them are light. We've got a few new lighter colors, so that's really good.
Mostly mid-tone, aren't they?
Yeah, mostly mid-tone colors. So my 2 wishes didn't happen. We got more greens and mostly mid-tone type colors. So that's why I'm really advising you to wait. Wait for that big 120 because we're hoping for a better price, better color spectrum, more lights. And yeah, that's what I'm hoping for. So wait, don't buy them right now. Hang in there just a little bit longer, hoping for a better color choice and everything. So that's the story. That's a lot of swatching to come down to that, the last conclusion, but that's what I concluded.
Teresa wanted you to hold up the 72 card.
Oh, yes.
And she can pause it if she wants later.
All right, I'll
to
hold
see
it
what's there.
very still. Okay, right there. I'm going to try to hold it very still.
Teresa, I don't know if did you find, did they publish what colors are going to be in the 120?
Ooh, that would be exciting. So you can follow Ohuhu on Instagram. That tends to be where I find the most information. The other place to get answers to your questions is in Amazon. You can actually ask questions. You know how you can make comments and ask questions right below the products? That's where I found out about the 96 and the 120 set. I just went down and started reading, and it was actually Ohuhu that had answered that question, that there was a 96 and a 120 coming out in November. So those are the 2 best places I've found to get information from Ohuhu, the question section and Instagram. So
Peggy says that the Frugal Crafter in her review had mentioned that you can refill the Ohuhu with the Shinhan ink.
yeah,
They're the same ink colors.
yeah, they're all coming out of China. So what you do is, if you can find the same numbers with another brand that's offering refills, then you can use those refills. So that's good to know that that brand is doing that. So what was the brand again? I'll write the name down, and then we will all know.
S-H-I-N-H-A-N.
Just a second. He's spelling, and I'm not ready. I'm so bad at spelling. I got to write it down. Okay, we'll write it down here so we all can remember.
Okay.
I got the S.
S-H-I-N.
S-H-I-N.
Second word, H-A-N.
H-A-N. That's it?
Yep.
I was like expecting like 12 more letters. Okay, so this brand of markers has refills then that correspond, so that's good to know.
Dusty asked, are they as streaky as they look?
Let's do some coloring. I didn't try to make my swatches not streaky. Alcohol markers are wet, so if you can work out the streaks easier than you can on a water-based marker. So that's why illustrators love alcohol-based markers, because you can work those streaks out because they dry so fast. So I'll show you. This was a blend test that I did over on Facebook with those 3 colors right there, and we got a pretty good blend. It's been sitting here for a while, so it's had time to dry. If you've done any coloring with alcohol markers, you know you've got to give it time to dry, and then you can come back and touch up any blends after it's had time to settle into the fibers of the paper. So you can see there, that was my just a really quick flick blend. I didn't do like Jennifer's rule of blending thirds or anything really fancy to get that blend. That was just a flick type blend, and it's pretty good. I would probably go back and try to soften up that line between the YR2 and the Y2 a little bit more if I wanted to, and probably could soften that line, but that's a pretty good blend between those 3 colors, so I'm happy with that.
Catherine asked, Shinhan does the Touch 5, right?
Oh, I don't know. I'm not too familiar with that. Steve's Googling it right now. So we'll find out. I'm going to drink just a little bit.
Touch 5 markers.
Okay. So what I would like to do now is put the markers through their paces and do some actual coloring. So I have this one, the 2015 boot, that's free for all of you to come download, printed on my favorite marker paper. Remember, for marker paper, you want a really smooth cardstock, a nice thick, smooth cardstock. We want smooth so that those brush nibs will glide across and get some beautiful flicks, and so we don't wear out those brush nibs any faster than they're already going to wear out. We also want a thick cardstock because that gives lots of fibers for the ink to soak down into and gives you lots of room for layering and blending. So that's what I look for in a good marker paper. So then you want to put underneath it something to catch any bleed through, because alcohol markers are notorious for bleed through even with a nice thick paper, especially when you color the way I do, which is lots of layers and lots of blending. So I've got a paper underneath to catch bleed through, and then we've got our paper and we're ready to go. The next thing I need is a color scheme. So I want to do a purple boot. I really want to do a purple boot. Purple is calling my name. So we are going to
Louise has a
pick
good
color
question.
scheme.
2-part question. Number 1, she just bought some Cali Arts. Do you think, what do you think of Cali Art versus Ohuhu? And second, what do you think makes a better set? The colors of the product, or refillable, or what? What are you looking for in a budget-friendly?
Such a good question. We talked really briefly about this over on Facebook. Oh, I totally forgot the name of Facebook for a minute. Okay. What I would recommend, okay, Cali Arts are awesome. They are one of my most favorite budget-friendly sets of alcohol markers. I've got them right behind me. They have a chisel tip and a bullet tip. One end chisel, one end bullet tip. Then the set I have has 100 colors, and what we just learned on Facebook is that they have a set with even more colors now, which is fantastic. So my recommendation to most people is to buy a set of markers like that, like the Cali Arts, like a really big set of Ohuhus. And then as you start using the markers, you're going to discover what colors you use the most. For me, I use up the lightest colors the fastest. I've been starting to buy refills for my favorite set of markers, which I'll tell you what they are here in just a second. But the first refills I have needed are all the lightest tones, the light pinks, the light browns, the light blues. All those colors I use really fast, and a lot of them. So as I've been using those up, I buy the refills. So my recommendation is buy a big set like this, and then you'll discover what ones you use the most, and then replace those particular markers with maybe a medium or higher quality marker. You can invest in the Copics if you want. They're really expensive but awesome, and they have refills, they have replacement nibs. And then you'll know I only need to replace these certain ones. My favorite set of markers that I highly recommend to everybody are the Blick Studio markers. That's these ones right here. Not everybody can get them across the whole world, but if you're in the US or Canada, you can get the Blick Studios. They only come with 96 colors, but they are refillable. You can replace the nibs, you can buy them open stock, and they're typically about half the price of a Copic marker, and they perform, in my opinion, just as well as a Copic marker. But there's not nearly as many colors available as a Copic sketch marker. So this is my favorite set of markers, but it's a lot more expensive than the Ohuhus. So this is a good place to start. Once you fall in love with coloring with alcohol markers, I recommend you move up to something like a Blick Studio. And then if you're still and you need more colors and you're just loving this whole alcohol marker thing, then invest and expand out this color range into Copics and Prismacolor and those kinds of more expensive markers. That's kind of my advice. Did I answer her question fully?
Yeah, and then as far as Ohuhu versus Cali art.
Ohuhu has, and now they have this brush tip, which when they come out with their big 120 set, if the brush tip is standing to the test of time, I'm going to have to declare Ohuhu my new favorite budget-friendly marker, because I am a brush tip girl. I love a good flick, a good brush tip, but it's been hard to find a good brush tip. Most of the budget-friendly brush tips, they fall apart and just collapse before you ever can use all the ink inside that marker. So if we can prove out together, if we can prove out these brush tips as being worthy, then these will become my new favorite budget-friendly markers. But they're not refillable. You can't replace the nib. But remember what we discovered last time together, that this nib is a two-ended nib. I'll open this one up too. So we did this over on Facebook. So I'll do it here with you guys. It's a little messy, but I'll show you real quick. Here, let's flip this over. Let's do a color that maybe I'm not quite as... I'll show you. You can pull out this nib. So as the nib starts to wear down, get a little frayed or mushy, before it gets too mushy, pull out your nib and flip it around. Come on, baby. Because it's double-ended. Look at that. So you will get a fresh nib ready to go, more crisp, beautiful flicks ready to go. So don't forget that about these Ohuhu markers. That alone is amazing. I don't know why Ohuhu's not proclaiming this in all of their marketing, because that is, I don't know any other, well, there's one other brand I know of that has a double-ended nib. Other than that one brand, I don't know any others that are doing this. And that's amazing. By the way, that little tool that I just used is made by Copic. It's a Copic tweezer for Copic markers. Keeps your hands clean, and it's a little pricey, but after you've pulled out a few of them, then you decide you need a fancy tweezer. So, and you do get ink everywhere, so be careful when you do that. Okay, let's do some coloring. First thing I want to do though is pick a color scheme. So we're going to use the quick color picker that we've been talking a lot about here over the last little while. And like I said, I want to do purple. Do I want red violet, I think, or violet? I'm feeling red violet, and I know I want it to feel Halloweeny, so I want red violet and I want orange. So, ooh, that one's nice. Oh, but there's that blue green. This one. I've been wanting to do blue green too. Does that feel Halloweeny? That one's more orange. That one's more red orange. What do you think, Steve?
I don't know. Halloween seems...
Which one feels more Halloween? That one or that one?
Neither.
Neither? Okay, well, let's look at violet. Violet, red, orange, and blue, green.
What's under the orange? Go to maybe try orange color scheme. And then
Did I go the wrong way?
Yeah, it's towards the end.
Red, Where is it?
It's after red, orange.
It's like alphabet. I can't ever do the alphabet on pressure. Okay, here's orange, red, violet, green, and blue. Yellow, green. That's the only one with violet. Oh, there's violet there. But red, violet, orange, yellow, green, and blue.
I guess to me, I'm feeling like orange. It would be like dark. So even the one on the bottom left, the rectangle tetrahedron, maybe that one or something.
But there's no violet.
Oh, because that's specifically what you're on.
Yeah, we're going back to violet. You've been overruled, Steve. I think we're going to go for that one because it's got the blue-green.
Go for it.
Okay, blue-green, and we know we've got lots of green to pick from, huh? Okay, so we need some red-violet. Red-violet shouldn't be hard. Let's see here. Page 1 and page 2. Okay, red-violet, we've got famous last words. This shouldn't be hard. P2. Okay, we're going to call that our closest thing to red-violet. Blue, I'm going to call either royal blue or Indian blue. Let's go PB6. I don't want to be here forever picking colors. Okay, orange, either marigold or orange. Let's go YR3. That's looking pretty good. And then yellow, green, we've got like 30 to pick from. That's an exaggeration. GY5 looks pretty good. GY5. Okay, there's our colors. Okay. Thank you, Quick Color Picker. If you're interested in the Quick Color Picker, I don't know if I put a link to that. Come to our website. We've got these that you can order to help you pick colors. Okay, but there's our 4 colors. Ooh, they're very fun, aren't they? Okay, we need a light blue. Let's grab pastel blue, PB7. PB7. This one for a light blue. And a dark blue. Let's see, I grabbed PB6. That might be PB8 maybe as our mid. Okay, light, medium, and dark. Now P2 is our violet that we picked.
Dark,
P3, yeah, we're just gonna have to do whatever we can with what we've got here. And maybe this is our mid-tone. P4. This is the struggle with having fewer colors. You just gotta do what you got. Okay, orange. YR3 is what we picked, which is this orange. So let's go for YR.
What about that one and that one?
Ooh, quince. Y4. And YR4. Where are you, YR? Did I grab the wrong one? Yeah, I did. Okay, this one. Wow, that's going to be hard to remember which one is light and which one's dark. Like that. And then GY5 is what I picked for the green, which is that one. That one looks like a good GY4.
What about that for light?
Those two together?
I just meant for light.
Yeah, GY7.
And that looks like a good dark.
Oh, yeah. You're so good at picking colors. Oh, GY7. And then dark, GY8. Wow, you're so good at this.
Oh, thank you.
GY8. Okay, there's our colors, light, mediums, and darks. Okay, let's dive in. And this has got to be a purple boot. So let's go in here and start with our lightest purple, which is, I think, this periwinkle. No, pastel violet. Okay, so here we are, everybody. I'm thinking. Okay, we're just going to sweep over the whole thing, and then we're going to come in and add details. So I want to see if we can get rid of all the streaks. And the best way I have found to get rid of streaks is to go slow and do multiple layers. You can also flip to the chisel tip for areas like this if you want to preserve your brush tip, but we are here to push the brush tip. Really give it a workout.
How are the skin tone colors in this set?
Well,
Let's see here.
so they gave us these colors. Oh, we're on the wrong view. So I was thinking, they gave us more warm grays, which warm grays can help with skin tone. And they gave us this GY, which maybe you could cheat and bring in as a skin tone. This is all of the colors here. So, but we had the YR4 before.
I guess the problem are the really
very,
lights.
very lights. If you look at what they give you in Blick, in the Blick markers, you see these really pale colors that they give you. This antique white, this beach. They give you these super light creams and really, really light, like this putty, really light colors. These are the ones I'm always using up really fast. Really, really light colors. That's what I was hoping for. So, I mean, they have some colors there to help with skin tones, but nothing that you're like, yes, that is a skin tone color. But for dark skin tones, you still need those light colors. Just to blend out the dark edges, give the highlights in the skin tone. So even when I'm coloring a dark skin tone, I'm usually reaching for the light colors still. Especially with markers. It's not like color pencils where you can lay down a small amount and let the white of the paper show through and kind of cheat a darker pencil. Markers just go down. You can put a small puddle of ink onto a non-porous surface like glass, like this surface here that I'm working on, or a ceramic plate, and then mix a little of rubbing alcohol into the ink, and that will water down the color and give you a bit of a lighter tone. That is a good trick when you're in a pinch and you don't have a lot of colors to pick from. That works pretty good. This is a nice purple boot. I'm not being gentle at all with this nib. Trying to remember to keep my coloring in the shot here. I did a picture for Inktober. I haven't posted any Inktober pictures for a couple days. But I did this Inktober picture and I didn't have any light tone markers handy. All I had were mid-tone markers with me at the time. And it was so hard. I'm always surprised at how frustrating it can be if you don't have a good light marker. It's going down good. Very few streaks.
Louise says, I'm loving that brush tip.
I love a good brush tip.
I like too that they're pretty quiet.
Yeah, these
compared to a one of the chisels, you know.
Yeah.
Doesn't kill my ears.
This marker's not too stinky either.
Angela asked if you've ever used the Spectrum Noir markers, the ones in the black case.
I have, yes. I have the Tri-Blends. I have some of their original markers. And then recently I was with my nephew and he had some of the new Illustrator brush tip markers. They call them the Illustrator markers. So I got to try those. I've got a hair right my eyes. So I got to try the brush tips on those. And I have to say they seemed very similar to these brush tips. Anybody else had that experience with those?
Angels asked when they're drying out, can you put some rubbing alcohol in them?
Yeah, you can. It will dilute the color a little bit. Remember, that's just kind of like adding water to watercolor. It will dilute the color a little bit. But it's worth it if it reactivates and gets that ink going again. Okay, so let me show you. That's one coat of ink. Let's look at how much streak we got. I'll bring it up nice and close and hold it still. You can see some streakiness, but not bad. Not too shabby. That's good. There's a little bit of a mistake I made, so let's test the colorless blender. If you're familiar with colorless blenders, they do not do what the name implies. They don't help to blend. I use colorless blenders in two ways. One, to prep the paper. You can lay down some colorless blender to get the fibers wet and ready to receive some ink, or you can use it to fix mistakes. That's mainly the two ways I use it. You can also use them for special effects, like to add little, kind of to bleach out the ink and make little dappled highlights or little textures or that kind of thing in your color. But the thing I use the most for is correcting mistakes. So if you see right here, right there, can you see I went out of the lines a little bit? So we should be able to easily correct that. I usually use the chisel tip, or if I've got a bullet nib on the particular marker, that works really good too. So you just go right up to where that ink is and kind of imagine pushing that ink back into where you want it. That's how I imagine it. So go up next to it. So it's not really going to erase it. It's more pushing. And I used to imagine it more like bleaching, but the Copic people tell you to imagine it more like pushing. And that helped me now as I apply the colorless blender to fix my mistakes. That's how I push that colorless blender in. And it does. It will solve most of your mistakes. Now, certain colors are harder to correct than others. Like red is really hard to correct. But this nice, soft, purpley color, it's correcting really easy.
Speaking of the Spectrum Noir Illustrator markers, Crystal and Catherine were mentioning that they have some of the older ones and the tips were really, they would fray, I guess, bad, but the newer ones are supposed to be better.
They're supposed to be better. My nephew only let me borrow them for a little bit. And he's the one that invested his money in those markers, so I didn't want to put them through the tests, So one of these days I'll pick up a set of them and we will do a full official test of the Illustrator markers, because I like brush tips and we gotta test them.
Louise asked if you should buy a zippered case to store these markers and to lay them flat.
This case is totally sufficient. I've got all my Ohuhu markers are still in these cases, and then I just lay them flat like that. Other markers, I've got them all in various cases, but all of them are laying flat. Double-ended marker, you always want to lay flat so that the ink will evenly distribute between the two ends. That's the proper way to store a double-ended marker, whether it's alcohol-based or water-based. You want to lay them flat. That's the typical way. Okay, let's do some blending. I want to make this feel more shapely, less 2D,
Flat?
less flat, more 3D, less 2D. So let's see what we can accomplish here. So I think we've got, I'm trying to remember what color is what. So let's swatch these.
Crystal says I actually have the newer Spectrum Noir illustrators and the tips went mushy on me.
No!
And, Catherine had a good point. She says maybe try a small set from Michael's with a coupon first.
Ah, I'm sorry they went mushy. That's not allowed. Especially, those are more expensive. Okay, that's P3. That's P2. Wow, that's a big color jump. Let's see what color this one was. Oh my word. Okay, P4. P4 is closer to P3, but P2 is more of a red-violet. But I'm scared to get that blend to happen. I'm thinking P3 to P4, and I don't know about P2. I'm going to put P2 out of the way so I don't accidentally grab, because that's a big jump in tone. This tone to that tone, I think I can do. Let's set Jennifer up for success, shall we? Let's do that. Okay, let's get some flicks going here. I want the back of the heel to have some shape. So we're going to add some flicks here.
Catherine recommends a brand called Chroma.
Ooh.
Sylvie says she has the Shinhan Touch Twin Brush Markers. They're about $4 each. I think I saw them on Blake for about $5 each. They're made in Korea.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good, when you get to the $3 to $6 range per marker, there's a lot to choose from.
Danny says I'm coloring your new Halloween mandala with my Bianyo markers.
Awesome! Okay, I've gone back to this same color here and we're blending out that line. Flick, flick, flick. Okay, that's looking good. Now let's grab this, and I want to make this feel a little curved too. So we're going to flick out of the lines. That's all right, Jennifer. That's why colorless blenders were born. Get in the frame so you can see. Okay, back to this one. Blend out that edge. Flick, flick, flick. Oh, it's looking really cool. Okay, let's keep, I think we want to do right here too. Just a small amount though. Flick, flick, really pushing that nib. I'm not being gentle like I would if I was really trying to make these nibs last a long time. Trying to test these nibs out here. Good. That's a nice shadow we're getting on that base of that shoe. Okay. All the way down. What you doing, Rose?
Is she looking like crazy?
Yes. She was naughty today. She got into, I think she must have gotten into my purse. And she found a protein bar and ate half of the protein bar. Luckily it wasn't, it was like cookie dough flavor, so it had some chocolate chips in it. So not too much chocolate, not like if it was a fudge flavored protein bar or, but she was naughty.
Rosie, were you naughty? No, she's innocent.
She's got a mop head. She's got a little mop head, huh? There's your eyes. Hi.
She's alright.
I didn't
I'm
need
innocent.
it. I didn't get into Mom's purse and find a protein bar. I would never do that. Oh, I keep going out of the lines and getting out of the
Okay.
frame. Okay. That's looking pretty good. All right, we need to go back now that this is drying, this line. This is what I was talking about. It's a wet medium. Media? Wet.
Is it a wet medium?
It's a wet medium. So I need to come back after it's dried for a minute and look for any areas that I didn't blend well enough. So I've come back here now and we're using the light color, this base layer color, and we'll add some more flicks to blend out that rough edge. And just help it blend out some more. I'm thinking some glittery gel pens for those details, don't you think? Yes. We got to get some of the other colors for our color scheme in here, though. I'm trying to finish this part. It's one of the best parts of alcohol markers is they make the perfect base layer. You can get all your colors mapped out, some dimensions started, and then come in with some glittery gel pens to add the bling. So much fun.
Polly says, my sweet, beautiful Rose is never naughty. You just imagine it.
I must have imagined the half-eaten protein bar all smeared across pillows on our couch.
Crystal understands. Rosie is an innocent little princess.
Yeah, see, Rose? They know you're innocent. She's like, what? I never eat my mom's protein bars and make her worried because I was eating chocolate. I don't understand. I was telling Steve this. I don't understand why she can eat a human protein bar with a little chocolate in it and be fine. But she'll try a new kind of dog food and it makes her sick.
Yeah.
I don't get it. What's going on?
Maybe she just doesn't like it and she's manipulating us.
She's like, see, Mom, just feed me protein bars all the
and
time.
French fries.
Protein bars and French fries. And I'll be just fine, Mom. That's what she's saying. Okay, so I don't want to put the shadow on this side. That's where a highlight would go. The shadow now needs to come on that side. So here we go. Good luck, Jennifer, staying in the lines with this big flexible brush tip.
Cards Are My Canvas says you should try the Art and Fly. They're a Japanese nib. And says it'd be hard pressed to tell them from Copics.
Ooh. How much are the Art and Flies? I think I've had them in my Amazon cart before. She's snoring again. Okay, I think I got that shadow.
She fell asleep that fast?
Yes.
Wow.
Why can't she fall asleep that fast at night? She sits in bed and curls up at the small of my back and wiggles for like a half hour. She grooms me, she readjusts, and I'm trying to fall asleep, and she's such a sweetheart. But when she doesn't come and lay at the small of my back, I'm like, where's Rose? What's wrong? Where did she go? So I've gotten used to it.
Louise says, this is an awesome tutorial.
Oh, I'm glad you're enjoying it,
Darlene
Louise.
says, I haven't been interested in working with markers until watching you tonight.
Oh, it's so much fun. This, okay, so you got to be brave. I was so scared of alcohol markers because they're so permanent, right? Every streak of the marker, every go outside of the line, it feels so permanent, but you just got to be brave. Dive in, and your colorless blender is your best friend for fixing errors. So let's look at just how sloppy Jennifer has been. Look at all these little oopses all along the edge. Now you can drive yourself crazy with these oopses, or you just embrace them, let them be, and then at the end come in with your little colorless blender and push it back. And the correcting of the ink isn't going to be perfect, but it will mellow those little mistakes down enough that only you will see them. And you can always come in and add a background, and then they'll be even less noticeable. So don't be so hard on yourself when you make little mistakes. And if your blends aren't perfect, like my plan is to come in with some sparkly gel pen on top of this. So any blends that aren't perfect, little streaks that you're like, oh, I wish I had done that better, those things will get less apparent because you're going to add gel pen details on top of this base layer that you've just created. So alcohol markers are actually more forgiving than what you think. And it goes fast. Look, we just colored the, do you know how long that would have taken doing this whole section with color pencil? It would take so long. Speaking of that, let's keep going and add a different color now. Let's do the greens on this part with the same idea. Let's lay the whole, oh, but wouldn't it be fun to have like green and then orange? Let's do that. So we're going to do the lightest green. So I've got, let's swatch them again so I can remember what greens I grabbed. So this is the first green and it's GY7. And then we have GY5. So having a quick swatch here on the side is really helpful because sometimes it's hard to, just looking at the markers, it's hard to tell, especially if you're in not the perfect lighting, which one's your light, which one's your dark. It can get really confusing. So if you have a quick swatch right next to you, GY8. So now I'll remember that 8 is my dark, 7 is my light. So they're out of order. See, 7 is the light, 5 is the medium. So you can't even trust the numbers. So 7 is my light. So we're going to come in and we'll do all the stripy sections green really quick. And just lay down the color. Again, alcohol markers lay down so fast and they dry really fast. And the advantage over water-based markers is they don't change the texture of your paper. So you can come right back on top with something else. And typically they dry pretty streak-free, where a water-based marker, it's almost impossible to get a streak-free coloring. So you just have to work with the streaky nature. If I was using a water-based marker right now, I'd keep all my strokes in line with these stripes, so that the streaks would be hidden in the stripes.
Laura's new to the channel. She says hi, Jennifer.
Welcome, Laura. Come and download this. It's free for a limited time. This fun Halloween coloring page. Okay, there's the greens. And then let's put orange next to them. Let me swatch them so you can see what colors I picked. Oh, really? So we grabbed this YR3, and we've got YR4, 4, and we've got this what? This is YR4. Uh-oh. YR4. What's going on? Y4. This is just Y4. That was confusing. And they're very close in color. What happened? What did I do? Did we have the caps on? I bet I put the YR4 on the Y4. This is why, Ohuhu, this is why you need to label the body of your markers, like CaliArt does. It's for crazy people like me that have caps going everywhere. Help me. Okay, sorry. All right, let's add the lightest one here now again. And we'll come in here. And that's going to show us, do we have all the colors represented? No, we still have the blue. I wanted to at least get all of our colors represented so you can see the whole color scheme and what the whole vision is. I want the, don't we want the fringe or the ruffle to be purple?
These have stackable caps, right?
Yes. There, you can see it stacking. Like I said over on Facebook, the only problem is if you pull the stack off incorrectly, sometimes this little part will pop off, the little color code thing. Again, another reason for the body to have the name of the color labeled on it. Wonder if it would cause the cost to go way up to take the time to label the bodies.
Yeah.
If that's why they don't do it.
Probably.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know these things. Okay, where should we do the blue? Maybe.
Jennifer Towle says, coloring right along with you. This is fun using the Cali art markers.
Oh, fun. The Cali arts are so great. And they have labels on their bodies. Color name labels on their bodies. Okay, let's get the blues represented. So I'll do the blue colors so you know what I picked. We've got PB6, 6, and whoa, that was a strong smelling one.
Oh.
This one is PB8 and PB7.
Danny says that the Biennial markers have the names and numbers on the barrel.
Oh. Okay, so that's all 12 of our colors, the entire color scheme. Okay, so let's grab the light blue. Actually, now that I'm looking, a light blue on here would be really cute, and then we could do purple along here and here. Okay, that's what we're doing. Okay, this will be a good test of the blending too. So first step is we're going to lay down, oh, let me get it in shot. What I'll do is probably end up putting purple glitter right there, or something glittery. That'll be my plan. So if some ink gets in there, it won't be a big deal. But I'm going to try to keep it as white as possible. So if I do something like gold or a silver, something with a translucent ink, I don't know, we'll see. If I get really messy, we might give up on that idea. Plans are meant to be changed, Steve. Especially when you have an oops. We don't call them mistakes. We call them opportunities. There are no mistakes in coloring, at least not around here. Ooh, that looks pretty. I love the shading we got at the bottom of that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so bright.
See, now I'm kind of excited to see. Is that on the top there? Is that the inside that you're coloring right now? Is that, did you envision that being inside or outside?
Outside, like a ruffle around her ankle.
Yeah.
That was the vision, the 2015 vision.
Or 19, you mean?
15.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
This is the 2015 boot. If you want the 2019 boot, it's got that cute little bat that I think would make an adorable little stone or something like that. Okay, let's make it. We've got PB6 as our dark, so let's come in with our dark now. All right, we've got a ruffle here. We got to plan where this is like the high points of the ruffle. So, wow, what is up with that one? Jiminy Cricket, that's a stinky one. Am I the only person that says Jiminy Cricket anymore?
I haven't heard that in a long time.
I just was thinking that. Like, everybody's like, what did she just say? Did she say Jiminy Cricket? Okay, now we're going to the mid-tone. And see, we're going to have marker caps going everywhere. Wish me luck. Oh, I can't get that one to stack. There. And we'll get this one going too. Okay, blend that out. Okay, there's one. Now this little area. Am I in screen? I make sure I'm... There we go. A little shadow here and that. Now to the mid-tone, blend it out. And the light tone. Blend it out. I think we're going to have to revisit that one. It's looking a little rough, but that's alright. Okay, dark tone, PB6. Let's go like this. Oh, that might be a mistake. We're going to find out. That's awfully dark. And I'll bring it in here.
You just need to use the mid-tone instead.
Yeah, we'll find out. And the light. Let's see as that dries down now. And now, ooh, I'm scared to use that dark again. Let's start with the mid-tone. Bring it up. That was mighty dark. A little touch of the dark right there. Bring back the light and work it in. Yeah, that was pretty dark. I think we'll stick with mid-tone for the most part. PB8. It's gonna PB8. I think that's gonna be our best friend here. And reserve the highlight right there. That's pretty good, actually. We're making progress. Okay, PB8. Flick, flick. This way, that way, and that way. Blend it out. No, that's not the one, Jennifer. That's the one. And now bring in PB6. No. Ugh. PB6. A little bit of that dark. Scruffle that edge up. And back in with the light. Blend it out. Really work that nib. We're trying to test this nib out. PB8. 8 is great. 8 is great. 8 is great. She's really snoring. That's starting to get a bit of a dimension. 8 is great. 8 is great. This way and that way. 8 is great. And back to the light tone. Really work that nib. Test that nib. Okay, and a little bit of the darker. Let's try just tapping it this time. See if that works better. Yeah, that was pretty good. Back to the 8. Ooh, I'm liking that tapping with that nice nib. Ooh, that tapping. PB8 is great. Flick. And lift. And back to the light.
Catherine says I'm going to hear 8 is great in my sleep now.
Gotta find some way to remember which one to grab. Really work that nib. It's starting to get a little loose. That's interesting. This is why we're here, though. We're working that nib. See what I mean about using the lightest colors the most? This is what I'm talking about. These light colors, I just use a ton. I'm starting to get some good dimension here. PB8 is great. dimension up like that. And back to the lightest. She is just really snoring.
Soraya asks if you're getting woozy from the smell of the markers.
Well, this PB6 is really stinky. I don't know what's going on with that one. Some are more smelly than others, and they definitely smell different than the original Ohuhus. I'm not talking about the 48 that I'm comparing them to. Talking about the old school, the chisel tips. They have a different smell than the chisel tips. I made my husband smell it earlier so he can testify that they smell different. All right, let's let that dry and settle, and then we'll come back and correct some of these rough blends. But it's definitely getting some shape there. We need to continue some of that shading up here. I think that's why it's looking wrong, because the little trim at the top isn't colored. In fact, that's bugging me. We got to do it right. PB8 is great. Let's flick down. Now she's barking. Oh, that's better. Back to 7. Blend that out. Oh, that's better. That's better, right? Like, it's better, right? 8 is great. I think it's better. Uh-oh, just loudest cap. When I say my caps go flying, I'm honest about that. My caps go flying when I'm coloring. 8 is great.
Crystal. Steve is our official scent sniffer.
He is. I make him smell everything. Poor Steve. All right, let's let that sit. That's pretty good. Look at the difference between our shading. Now it's rough because we need to come back and smooth it out after it dries. But look at unshaded and the shading, the first step in the shading. Looking good. Okay, let's cap them. And I lost a cap, Steve, because my caps go flying when I'm coloring. Okay, let's come up here now because this is bugging me. What time is it? Oh, we're past our time. Let's try the GY8 because it's bugging me how non-green that's looking. No, we're using chisel. We're using, and I want to put in, oh, you know, it would be so pretty. We're going to do like this. And then, oh, the caps are driving me crazy. Okay, then we'll blend in like that. And like this. Oh, look how much better that looks. Oh, so pretty. Okay, here we go. 8 is great again. 8 is our dark, and then 5, and then back to 7 to blend it all out. Oh, that's pretty. 8 is great. And then we can do some pretty, did you smell that marker? She totally perked up when I started in with the, either that or Carter's cooking something downstairs and she can smell it before us.
Sniffer in chief and coloring assistant extraordinaire.
Is that you? Okay, and a little bit of the yellow. There we go. 8 is great, man. We are just using so much 8 and then 5 to soften and back to the light. 8 is great. And then back to, oh, I used the wrong one that time. I gotta just go straight to the light. Okay, back to 8. This is like ultimate brain sharpness here. Oh, look how much better that looks though. Look how good that looks. Oh, so pretty. Okay, 8. And then 5. And then back to the lightest. Blend it out while it's still wet. 8. And then 5. And then back to the lightest. Oh, really? Okay, let's see if I can do 2 diamonds at once and not get confused. 8 to 5. And then back to the lightest. Oh, that's some high coloring skill there, man. 8. To 5. And then to 7. Okay, really pushing on that nib, and it's doing pretty good. It's definitely more flexible than when we began. Okay, that's looking better than when we started. Let's get the right caps on the right markers. GY5. Now let's make those orange squares shine. YR3. Let's get the caps off. YR4. Remember, the gray band shows you where the brush tip is. Okay. Let's do a similar thing here. YR3 is our dark. That's pretty dark. But I'm going to want to add some gel pen there. So could we bring it in instead of just on the ends? I wonder if we could do it like that. And then Y4. Let's see how this works. And then blend. That looks pretty. Okay, here we go. Here and here, here and here. And then to Y4. And then the lightest to bring it all together. That's pretty. Okay, YR3 here, and here, and then Y4. Why for art thou, O Romeo? Okay, that looks good. Okay. Oh, that was a lot of Y4 on that one. Blend it out. Okay. I can't wait to see what everybody does with their boots. Okay. Why for art thou? Why do I keep thinking of that?
Instead of wherefore of.
Yeah. Okay. And here. apply 4. Make sure I'm grabbing the right ones. And blend. Okay, there's the orange. Y3, YR4. Oh, I'm getting ink everywhere. Okay, so we've got all colors represented now, and some good blending. And looking back at this now that my eyes have had a chance to rest, we definitely need to do some loving. So I'm coming in with the lightest of the 3 blues. And I'm just going to blend, lay some extra ink on there. I'm just going to wash over the whole thing, see what that does for us. Concentrate where the most rough areas are. That's already helping. Okay, let that sit. Okay, well, I could sit here for another hour, you guys, and keep coloring. I think I'm going to do purple up here onto this area here, just so you know my plan. I know purple's going to be my dominant color, so we need to have purple represented in more than one area. That way the other colors that are a little more crazy don't feel too, they feel like they are there on purpose, not... When you have a 4-color coloring scheme, it's really important that your mother color, your dominant color, is really represented, because it gives the eye a place to rest. And then these more opposing colors are these moments of surprise and give interest and carry your eye through the coloring page, if that makes sense. Okay, and we were thinking purple up here too, weren't we? Ooh, it'd be fun to do a darker purple out there. Ooh, the red violet one we haven't used yet. P2. Yes. Yes. Are you laughing at my excitement? I get so excited about color. Oh, I admit it. I get overly excited. Oh, we can have sparkly shoelaces. Yes. Oh, that will match the stars. Yes. I see my purple sparkle pop pen is going to be on here for sure. Okay. Yes. 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 All right. Well, I think you guys get the idea here. The tips of these after working with them, I definitely think they are softer than the Copics, but that's to be expected because they are a cheaper tip. But I don't see any sign of them collapsing yet. Now, we've only colored a little bit, so time will only tell. We're going to keep coloring with these Ohuhus. I'd love you to, if you've got some Ohuhus like the 48 set, or if you bought this set, let us know. Please share it. We've got a really great Coloring Bliss community over on Facebook. Steve, will you put that up on the screen so they can... If you haven't joined us over on our Facebook coloring group, that is a really great place to come and share things like, oh no, my such and such a marker nibs have all died on me. Don't buy that brand. That's a really great place. Or if you come across a new set of markers that you're loving and you would love to share that knowledge with us, please come and share it there so that the rest of us can enjoy that discovery that you've made. Look how pretty. Oh my goodness, I'm so excited about this. Oh, we could do right here that dark red too to give it some nice balance, and bring in the orange because orange will help make it even darker. Look at that. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Okay, well, I could just keep going. that I need to stop. So come and get this coloring page. This is free for a limited time, and I would love to see you can come and share your finished coloring over on our Facebook page. Lots of people share their coloring pages there. It's a very safe, uplifting, kind community that if you want to share there, please come and share it. I'll probably finish this up, maybe not tonight, but soon, and I will share my boot with all of you so you can see how this turns out, and how I'll let you know on that post how the Ohuhu markers are doing after I continue to push them. I'm going to keep pushing them hard, not be gentle. I'm going to be really rough with the nibs as I keep coloring here, and let you know how it turns out. And we'll see how, if I can keep pushing the blending and get it to look really good or not.
I like that color palette. That is fun. It's
turning out good. Does it feel Halloween-y to you?
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, purple to me is a Halloween color.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I guess I'm always thinking like orange, black, red, you know?
Yeah. You think of red as a Halloween color. Oh, see, I don't think of red as a Halloween color. I think orange, black, and purple.
Interesting.
Very interesting. All right, so I can't wait to see what you guys do, what colors you pick for your boots. So make sure you share them and post them. Thanks for watching the video. Hit a thumbs up if you enjoyed this kind of content, and we will see you soon. I hope you have a wonderful, colorful, and blissful night. Bye-bye, everyone.